Hi, my name is Lexi and this is Camille's Country Corner. So today I'm going to be making two recipes for you. They are very similar because of the ingredients that we're using, but it's going to be awesome. So today I'm going to be making just a basic chicken noodle soup and a chicken pot pie casserole bake. It's going to be super yummy, so let's just hop into that video and we will get going.
We're gonna start off with a mirepoix. I did 3 celery ribs, 2 carrots, half an onion, and then I also have a little bit of baby potatoes. We're just doing a fine dice on everything. This will work perfectly for both recipes. Just getting everything cut in out of the way. I also peeled my carrot to make it a little bit easier for myself. I love making soups when it's cold. It's definitely been rainy around here, so I'm very excited for this.
Okay, so because I am making 2 dishes today, I have one big pot right here. I do have it at high heat just to melt this ghee that I'm using to cook with. I am going to turn it down to medium now that that ghee has melted. We have all of our chopped vegetables besides the potato, and we're going to put that in here. I am also going to be adding about a clove to a clove and a half of garlic. And we are going to saute this to start making the onions translucent. And I'm also going to add a little bit of salt at this time too, not too much. There we go. So because we are making just chicken noodle soup and a chicken pot pie casserole, it just makes sense to cook everything at once and then kind of split it off. So this pot, once everything is cooked down, is going to be for my chicken soup. This back pot here is going to be for the casserole. Just trying to get things going a little bit. So I'll bring you back when this is a little bit more cooked. Okay, so this is all a bunch of carrots here. So you can see the onions have definitely started to change a little bit in their color, which is perfect. So I am going to divide this in about half and move it to this other pot in the back. Let me tilt this up. And we will start the bases for our 2 meals. So let me just move some of this over. I just put avocado spray in this one over here because this already has a lot of fat and ghee that is attached to it. There we go. That is about half. Now I'm going to add a liquid. I do have some homemade chicken stock. And I'm going to be adding about 1.5 cups of this homemade stock, and then I am going to fill the rest of this with some water. So let me go do that, and then we will start on that other dish. Okay, so I just added some additional water to this back one. I'm going to just raise the heat to a medium-high, and I turned this one down a little bit just because it was ripping hot. So give this a good little mixy-doo-dah here. Just finished cooking off those onions. They are definitely more translucent now than they were before, which is perfect. To this one, we are going to be adding some additional fat. So I am going to be adding about 1.5 tablespoons of some butter. This one is unsalted. Get that melted in there. There's lots of different ways on how you can make chicken pot pie. This one definitely is a cheater recipe. I'm gonna make more like a chicken gravy situation in this pot. but I think it's gonna be super delicious. Also, do you see him? You see my little kitty cat down there? Looking for some chef snacks? Maybe we'll give him something. Okay. Almost melted. Let me grab a spoon so we can add some flour to it. Okay, for the amount of butter I put in, you're gonna put equal amounts of flour, so about 1 tablespoon, a little bit over. We can always add more thickeners later if we need to, but I don't think we will. So I'm just gonna cook that off a little bit. And reminder, this only has a little bit of salt right now. We are going to flavor it a little bit more. You can see that it's starting to get a little chunky in there. We are going to be adding 2 cups of chicken stock to this one. Full of fat and everything else like that because we make them from home. I'm gonna give this a stir just to give it a moment to incorporate. And let me add some seasonings. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to both of these dishes back here. So there's a lot of liquid. Add some freshly ground black pepper. This pepper shaker just goes so much faster than the other one. The big soup back here is going to get some oregano. I'm going to start off with about a teaspoon. This one is only going to get a half teaspoon. Each one is going to get a little bit of basil, again maybe a teaspoon in the big one, half teaspoon in the little. Celery seed is going to go in the chicken pot pie, just a little bit, I would say 1/4 of a teaspoon. And it's also gonna get about a teaspoon of thyme. This one can get half a teaspoon of thyme. I also like to add a little bit of cayenne pepper to my soup. And I'm gonna do just a couple dashes in this pot pie as well. I'm gonna grab a bay leaf from my freezer and we'll put that in there. One good bay leaf. Okay, give this a mix as this is getting back up to temperature because my broth was cold. Okay. If you have dried parsley, that would be really good in this right now too. I don't have any because I keep forgetting to buy some. And because I can, a few dashes of garlic powder. You want to just jam pack this, you know, make it super flavorful. So I'm just gonna bring these to temperature and I will be back when it starts to move around and get thick. Okay, so we went to Costco the other day and we got a chicken and we haven't eaten it besides the legs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to shred this for our dishes today. I don't want the skin because it'll just get rubbery. Okay. Let's start with this breast, see how we're at. Gonna break this into smaller chunks. I will come back at you once I have all my chicken done. Here's that soup. It's just going. We're gonna just keep going a little bit longer. I'm gonna actually add some corn in our potatoes. So let me go grab those. Some frozen corn that we'll be adding to this. And then those tiny little potatoes as well. Give that a good mix. Now we're just gonna wait for those potatoes to cook off in this one. Add our chicken and our noodles, and this one's almost done. This one is coming along. It's starting to get thick and delicious, so let's continue with this. All right, this one is also going to get about a half cup of frozen peas. You can use canned, of course, but I feel like the frozen just hold their shape a little bit better. You see how it's already starting to get really thick and luxurious? That's what we're looking for. I'm also going to be adding my chicken at this time as well. So we just shredded up all that chicken. I'm gonna add about half of it to this. All right, we're gonna just let this one continue to thicken up a little bit. I want it to be not soupy, more gravy. So we're gonna just continue this on a medium to low heat until it's ready. All right, so our mixture is done. It is nice and thick like a gravy. I am just going to let this cool down a little bit before we put it into the casserole dish, but it looks really good. And I've tasted for seasonings already, and it is perfect. And to move on to our chicken noodle soup, it's still coming along. Potatoes aren't quite done yet, but I do have it onto a low heat. This will take a little bit longer because it is a soup and we want it to develop flavors. All right, I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, just put in my egg noodles and turned up the temperature just a little bit. Once these egg noodles are done, this soup is complete. Okay, let's build this. So into this pan, I believe it's like a 4x7 or something like that. It's small. I put in a pre-made pie crust and I just baked it off a little bit because it is going to have lots of liquid in there. I'm gonna take my filling and just dump it in. I have some shredded Mexican cheese. Any cheese would work. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that on the top. Okay. And now the fun part. I'm gonna take these tater tots and I'm just going to, this one's ugly, and I'm just going to line them up like this. Let's do a little time lapse. Okay, so I just threw that casserole into the oven at 350 degrees and I set my timer for 15 minutes and then I'm gonna check on it, kind of see how it's going. But in the meantime, our soup is done. So, but without tilting it everywhere. It looks really good, so let's give this a try. It's very similar to my mom's video of how she made soup.
I'll link that one below so you can kind of see the differences, but I learned it from her. I just add a little bit of different spices on the inside, so let's try not to burn my mouth because it's steaming. That is perfect. I can taste all of the oregano, basil, bay leaf. Make sure you discard the bay leaf, you can't eat those. The chicken flavor from our homemade chicken stock tastes really good. The rotisserie chicken cooked perfectly. The little potatoes are so creamy. And the corn, because it was frozen, still has a pop. This is super good. It's very rainy here today, so I can't wait to try that casserole. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna sit down with this bowl right now while we wait for that to finish, and we'll try that. And then on the side, I just made some croissants, like the pop biscuit ones. So have these together, and we'll catch you when that's ready. Okay guys, so the rest of the meal is done. So I just got one bite because I ate soup because I was impatient. So let's give this a try. I have a little bit of the crust, the filling, and the tater tot. All I did at the end was salt it, so the tater tots weren't not flavored. So let's give it a go. That is amazing. Oh. I am totally having that for lunch tomorrow. That is so good. It tastes like the best chicken pot pie that you could think of, plus tater tots. I mean, who doesn't like tater tots? Thank you so much for watching today. I am switching up our uploading schedule to Wednesdays and Sundays. There's just a lot going on right now, and I feel like it's not necessary to post 3 times a week. So come back at us on Wednesday and Sunday for some new videos, and I really appreciate you guys. So definitely hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.